In 1998, Phil Hartman had a successful career and had no plans of slowing down. But his life came to an abrupt end when he was murdered by his wife at 49. Why did the funny man's life get taken away by someone who was supposed to love him? In this video, we are going to look into the death of SNL legend, Phil Hartman. Before gaining fame in the comedy world, Phil Hartman worked as a graphic designer, designing over 40 record covers for bands. Phil had a passion for comedy though, and he wanted his talents to be seen by the public. He decided to attend evening classes at the Groundlings, which was an improvisational comedy group. It was here where he met Paul Reubens, and the two went on to create the Pee Wee Herman Show, where Phil played Captain Carl. Soon after this, Phil considered leaving acting altogether, as the work was scarce for him at the time. But he and Reubens soon found success in writing the film Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and Phil then changed his mind. He went on to star in small movie roles, doing work as a voice actor in animated shows, and providing voiceovers for advertisements. But Phil's big break finally came in October of 1986, when he joined the cast of Saturday Night Live, and he quickly became a fan favorite. Phil gave hilarious performances, most memorable being his impressions of Bill Clinton. Phil's nickname on the set of SNL was Glue, as he was well known for holding everything together. Phil enjoyed his run on SNL, but by 1994, he thought that it was his time to leave the show. In 1995, Phil Hartman joined the cast of News Radio, where he played a news anchor named Bill McNeil, for 4 seasons of the show. For younger audiences, Phil's voice could be heard on The Simpsons. He voiced characters such as sketchy lawyer, Lionel Hutz, B-movie actor, Troy McClure, and various background characters, in 52 episodes of the popular animated series.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such medical films as Alice Doesn't Live Anymore, and Mommy, What's Wrong with That Man's Face?
In 1986, Phil met former model and aspiring actress, Bryn Omdahl, and the two would marry the following year. Together they had 2 children, but they faced some challenges in their marriage. Bryn grew to be extremely jealous of her husband's flourishing career, and she struggled to find any acting work of her own. Her frustrations got to the point where she was both physically and verbally abusive towards Phil, and he considered retiring to try saving his marriage. Phil was described as being distant or withdrawn by his ex-wives, and he was behaving the same way towards Bryn as well. He avoided having any physical interaction with his wife and preferred to focus on his work and hobbies. Bryn was a confrontational woman who felt like she couldn't get through to her husband when she tried to speak to him about their issues, and he would much rather avoid talking about it. Bryn soon became addicted to drugs and alcohol. This caused her to sometimes go into vicious outbursts, and Phil, on multiple occasions, ended up having his 2 young children stay with friends and family to shield them from their mother's behavior. Phil eventually threatened to leave his wife and take the kids with him if she didn't get clean. As her husband's stars shined brighter and new doors were being opened for him, Bryn's jealousy grew more intense. On May 27, 1998, Bryn had drinks with her friend at a restaurant. Her friend later stated that Bryn seemed to be in a good frame of mind. Whilst out, Bryn had used cocaine and taken the prescription antidepressant Zoloft. When Bryn returned home, she and Phil had a heated argument, possibly over her drug use. After the argument, Phil went to bed. At around 3 a.m. on May 28, 1998, Bryn entered their bedroom where Phil was asleep, and she shot him between the eyes, in the throat, and in the upper chest. After murdering her husband, and with her children asleep in their own bedrooms, Bryn left the house alone and went to her friend and former lover, Ron Douglas's house. She was clearly upset and confessed to him that she had just killed Phil. Ron did not believe what she was saying and suggested that they go to her house in separate vehicles and check on Phil. They arrived at the Hartman residence just before 6:30 a.m. Ron entered Phil's bedroom and saw that he was indeed dead. He immediately left the room to call 911. Whilst Ron was out of the room, and on the phone to 911, Bryn stayed and locked herself inside.
At 6:20 this morning, residents of this upscale Encino neighborhood called police to report gunshots coming from the Hartman's gated estate. Officers arrived to find a 9-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl by the front door, both obviously upset. As they were taking the children out of the house, officers heard a gunshot in the master bedroom. There they discovered comedian Phil Hartman dead. Authorities say it appears his wife Bryn shot him, then turned the gun on herself.
Mr. Hartman had been dead for a while. He did not die at the same time that Mrs. Hartman apparently killed herself.
Distraught neighbors and friends of the couple say they had marital problems. One woman said she had feared that this would happen.
Following Phil's tragic death, the beloved characters he voiced on The Simpsons were retired rather than replacing Phil with another voice actor. His final episode on the show was dedicated to him. SNL also dedicated a special episode to Phil, showcasing his work on the show. In 1999, Bryn's brother filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the manufacturer of Zoloft, Pfizer. He claimed that the use of it caused his sister to murder her husband and then kill herself. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel.